Crystal from the Royals UK. They are starting on their CT side. That is a curse in disguise, really. CT side usually stronger, but on a map like Cash, definitely can go iffy.
Yeah,
Take it away, folks.
Could be a bit of a tough one, can't it? But it is going to be a bit of a close-knit push coming out, and Jack's just going to peek openly into it. He struggled in a bit the first game, but seemingly landing his shots this time around. He gets himself a double kill, back-to-back headshots for him. Ezio looking for just another over towards mid as he claims the life of Grimjay. But we're going to scale it back a bit, as Hudgy is going to find one on towards Capers, and it pits us in a 3v3 with the bomb going down towards A.
Bomb is down on the A bomb, so here comes the rotations from the CT's Tesco, or Tescu, however you want to say that. That's found the first one to Lazar, and now we're on the 2 versus 3. Jacker as well, watching the rotation. That play up, Ezio does fall from white box, so now this allows the CTs to get onto site. There's no contention, and Hudgy gets that nice first one there. Can he get the second? No, we can't. Are we calling him Tesco?
I mean, we can call him Tesco, Tescuo.
I mean, his name is Tescu, but
yeah, you got
when I was watching your cast on the first map, you called him Tesco. Just randomly call him Tesco.
I feel like I just don't pronounce the Q enough, but you know, we can just call him Tesco.
Yeah?
I'm game for either side, to be honest. I don't mind.
I played an ESCA yesterday with him. With him and his girlfriend. I had no idea who he was, and I was just trolling him. I was mega trolling him. Then I realised he was in the ESL Premiership as well. That's a bit awkward, a bit unprofessional, but whatever.
It's all good. Doesn't matter. It's not the billion dollar life, is it? You'll get over it.
ESCA Park, mate. Things happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much UK scene, right? Things happen, things are said, but you just kind of walk past it.
Okay, I've just got official confirmation from @Hexes, RIP, Blurry.
Alright.
Saying Tesco is how it's pronounced. There you go.
Tesco. Okay.
Tesco. It is actually, he does want you to say Tesco.
Okay. Well, for once we're in the right with names.
I don't know why you just wouldn't be called Tesco, though.
I mean, what about Aldi, man? Like Aldi, Waitrose, like go for the finer side. A lot of choices.
Where'd you shop?
Where do I shop? I don't like. I think pretty sure Tesco's every now and then. Bit of Asda, you know. Got to spread it around a bit. It's online shipping, mate. It's just all I do. What about you? You a Waitrose man? Are you on the finer side?
Well, Waitrose past 7 PM. Get all the discounts in there. 30p, 10p stuff there. All nice and easy. But Sainsbury's all the way.
Well, there you have it. It is going to be a bit of a slow burning push for this T-side. Crimjay landing the shots with the scout as he finds the leg on towards Ezio and then follows it up, of course, off the back of that original tag that he found to get himself that kill. So, one in the back of the net. Well, quickly traded back, though, by Lazar, but then it's a bit of a bloodbath as Crimjay and Kafis will combine to find just 2 more. Imi then to find another to allow him to get that bomb plant down. It is going to be this 2 versus 3. With Imi just another run towards Crimjay, feeling very, very Chris Niles. Max looking to claim the life of Neff over towards Connector. He's going to get away with it. Jack now, Mag 7 in his back pocket. Gonna whip it out. That's not the weapon you want in this situation. Sandwich from highway in sight.
Yeah. He can nade quad and try to go for the one-tap USP, but faces towards highway. My Max was taken down nice and easy, and the unexpected force by there from Endpoint. What happened there was they got the bomb down first round. Usually you fully eco the second, then you're buying on the third one, right? Instead, Endpoint trying to catch the Royals off guard. They anticipate the early aggression from the CT side. When you know you're playing versus an eco, you want to play aggressive, try and get those frags on the board. You know how it goes. Confidence kills. The Endpoint catch off guard and nailed that one. It's 1-1.
Happy days.
Yeah, very happy days. Full eco as well for the CT side. Endpoint won't make the same mistake as Royals did in the previous round when it said hold for the pushes. But Royals as well are playing very passive. They know Endpoint do love that slow, methodical T-side play on any map. No matter if it's cash or any other. Bombers well towards mid main, so they're going to run this clock down all the way. The thing is, right, yes, 9 out of 10 times, even if they push the site, they'll still win it. The fact is they want as many players as they can alive, survive the round, to keep their money strong, to keep their money afloat. Try not to get, instantly reset if they were to lose the following round.
Yeah, I think it's all about holding it together, right? And also, I do look towards Lazar with that UMP, and also kind of for him, the more that he can do, the more money he makes for his team. So there's a lot of like small little tiny factors that come into play for a T-side like Endpoint in terms of how they want to, approach a round such as this. Of course, on paper it is just not an easy round for them, but one that they are just going to be able to do whatever they want. If they wanted to just push on towards the B site, they'd have a good chance at it. But as you mentioned, there is a lot more that goes into it in terms of whether they actually want to do anything. Crimjay tapping away with the USP though. Lands both shots. Imi is going to fire on back and find the trade. Hudgy over towards A is looking to pry out. He finds one through the smoke on towards Tesco. And from there, gets a double. Lazar finding one on towards Jack. I think all the pieces have voluntarily fallen into place. It may be one pick for Royals UK, but one, well, that's not quite the pinnacle of economic success.
Yeah, right now, if you're Royals, you really want to find another kill here. Try and get 2 rifles out of the hands of Endpoint. That's what, $7,000 of investment just gone there. Definitely more than that, actually. Over 8,000. And that's really what you want to do. Economical damage when you're on your ecos. Try and get 2 kills. Any more than that, even a round win, that's all just an added bonus. But we will be seeing Endpoint take the 1-round lead at 2-1. So far as well, if you can bring up the money for me. Are you observing this yet?
I mean, I can bring up the money for you. There you go.
Press tab, mate. Press tab.
Yeah, I tapped that tab key.
Oh, wow, actually, their money is far lower than I. Of course, because it was the 2v1. They won that on the force buy, so they broke, won that 3.5k, 3 players rebuy. Yeah, and that's why you've got money situation you have here. Then again, even if they do lose this, they will be able to buy into the next one. The biggest thing right now is Royals. They can't allow themselves to lose this, because if they lose this, that's when you start getting into a rut. You win round, you lose when you get forced onto pistols, and that's when Endpoint are really going to take the lead.
Yeah, that's when they're going to start to run away with this one, which is exactly their goal in a bit of a similar fashion to how that first map went. Royals UK, though, at least a bit of an early stint of life. You know, the problem they had on train was they were pick-upping around and then they constantly got reset. So it is nice to see them be able to battle it out kind of earlier on, and whether that's going to help them or not is certainly left to be told. As Jack going to get knocked down to just 39 HP. We are kind of watching that clock just pretty much tick on down at this point. Zemi get a flash out towards mid. Just throw a bit of a greeting party almost to the Royal side. The bomb is going to be left picked up. And it's pretty much just shaping up to be a guaranteed A push from Endpoint. It's just about whether they can minimize their losses, and Crimj as well, just going to try and dive over boost later round and push into A main.
Yeah, very standard play here from Endpoint. Play a tactical default, hold for pushes, and then go for the contact A play with the Molotovs and the smokes and the nades. And I wish, there we go, I can finally see, oh my god, he's going from behind!
Exactly as expected, gets himself a double kill. Imi is going to finally get that trade. Hudgy over towards the site, trying to throw a bit of a wrench in the works, as Capis is going to respond. Another double kill for him. As Imi will fall, and now perhaps even a triple on the line as Ezio next in line. Crimj, the man on towards boost, the man who you didn't even expect Snods, slides him from behind.
I mean,
the man they told you not to worry about is the man that gets the triple kill.
Then 50 seconds. Holding for pushes. As soon as they turn their backs, CRMJ, I got caught up his name, I was like CRMJ, I don't know. Must stand for something, I'm not too sure. Crimj, okay, Crimj. Crimj gets in from behind, finds 2. Obviously wishing at the A4 there, easy spray down. He did have those 10 extra bullets, but those 2 crucial kills definitely do slow down Endpoint. Rotations come in. Nice and easy cleanup there for Royals. And I mentioned before, the money will still be strong for Endpoint. Imi on the deagle. We might actually see one of these players get aggressive. Pair up with Imi. Try and get some control. Maybe try and take control of B main. Try and get control of checkers. If, I don't know, Hudgy, Ezio, whatever dies, Imi can take the rifle and they can go from there. Seems like they're still playing such a slow and methodical default, even though they are a weapon down. But nevertheless, they do have the nades and they do have the time on their hands. So they will be waiting to see if any aggression will come from the CT side. And now the boost will come in. Lazar will boost up Max. Hello, teammate. Now they can flash over and try and catch CRMJ off guard.
Luke finds us a 1, makes that 2, and then totals up to say, you know what, I want a 3rd as well. Just kind of build that into my platter as he does push on forward. Get away with it pretty much completely unscathed, or not even pretty much, just exactly not a single point of damage taken for him. He's a happy man, as Lazar and Ezio now looking to pretty much bring things back from point of no turning back at this point. It's looking pretty damn rough, and it's got to be said. Snoz 30 seconds left on the clock. They have to push in towards Jack. He's going to land both his shots. Headshots for him across the board. Royals UK, what seems like a fighting chance, actually now leaves them to be pushing on ahead. 3-2.
Which player was it that died initially mid-main? First player to die on the T side. Was it Hudgy? No, it wasn't Hudgy. Who was it?
I think it was Ezio.
Maybe. But whoever that player was, definitely facing far too early, because without the backup of his teammates, and without the flash, the RMJ, Crimj, whatever you want to say, and himself 3, well, I'd say 2 very easy frags. That 3rd dink there was so nice as well. Sealing the deal and really locking that 3rd round on the board for Royals. But as I just mentioned there, one of the players putting the trigger a little bit too early, peeking initially by himself, falls down, an easy clear up there. And Tesco going on the Shroud boost. Tesco going on the Shroud boost. Finding 3. And I feel like that's great. Well, don't you agree with me? You might agree with me here, but they're putting that trigger a little bit too early, showing their hand maybe a bit too early that, you know what, lads, we're not afraid to pull the boost off.
Yeah, I feel like they could have saved that
see what I mean?
a couple of late rounds, to be honest, because they didn't, like, I look at the round and go, did they really need to do that, or was it overkill? And it felt like they would have been able to win that round no matter what, if they played sensible CS, so, I don't know.
Exactly. But another point you can make there is like, oh, well, they've shown Endpoint they can play the boost, so now every time Endpoint do go away, they have to worry about that. That could be a reason why maybe they misread the money from Endpoint. Most likely, just a misread there. I don't think they're going to be going that deep into psychological warfare with, well, we're going to show our hand here, be afraid.
I think more than likely what's happened is they've just gone to the A site, and whoever has decided they want to go on boost, or someone out of that pair on A site has just gone, oh, let's just play boost this round. That's probably more than likely what's happened. It's just been an off-the-cuff call of, okay, let's play boost. Let's just change it up a bit.
Versus pistols. Yeah, going boost versus pistols is already just a stupid play, because if they do go A, if they go a tiny, like a millisecond earlier, they catch the boost off guard, 2 kills, 2 entries into A, round over. Right? You're giving an AWP and an AK to 2 of these players at Endpoint. That should be the round over. But instead, CSGO finds 3 nice kills there. 3 confidence frags as well. Let's take a look at the board. 0-2 there for Neff. Hasn't really seen too much action. But Crimj, CRM. Should we agree on this? Crimj, yeah? Crimj.
Yeah, I feel like we need to make an agreement on this.
Definitely had, yeah, because the chat's saying CRMJ, but
I don't know. So yes, like the last time I casted him, the crap was saying Crimj. So
the crap.
I don't know. The last time I casted him, the chat was saying Crimj.
Yeah, the chat. Sometimes you slip up on your word. Even I just did it there. But yeah, CRMJ. Oh, sorry, Crimj. We'll agree on that. It's not easy to say.
He can be the young Crims.
Of course. Yeah, Crimj. There you go, Crimj. Right, 4-2. 2 rounds in the lead now for Royals, and the buy does come in 5 rifles from the Endpoint side. We could be seeing the same players last time. Actually, no, we'll be seeing 3 players go towards door. Might see Max here. Does he have his smoke? He does have his smoke, so he can maybe be the one to smoke off highway. But if you're seeing 3 of these players going towards door, you need to see a highway smoke. One of these players from the T side. Here we go. Now they enter A main. Here comes the set execute towards A. Smoke off highway and have the door burst happen.
Door burst is going to take place. Are they going to get away with it? Well, that's the question. Tesco and Crimj going to find themselves one. Tesco had another one for him. Crimj, even a second for him on towards Ezio, and it seems to be just screaming the names of players, screaming about how they're getting those second frags, because that's pretty much all it was. A door burst in the making, and a door burst quickly crushed.
They had the smoke highway? I don't think they did they?
Yeah, there was pretty much like no utility usage in terms of that push.
That was 1 kill there. Crimj as well found a kill on the right side of the site, so that smoke came highway. Could be seeing a very different round. Instead, Endpoint, they opted to try and take the aim jewels. In their head, they're thinking, come on, these guys don't want to BM any of the players on Royals, but they're thinking, come on, guys, we're definitely a cut above these players. Just run out, aim, run and gun them, basically. But instead, Royals definitely pulling the AWP out. Crimj catches his players off guard, AWP's down 2-3 players there, secures his team, the 3-round lead. And, ooh, that's a nice shot there. Puts Endpoint on eco, that's very important, because now we're going to be seeing, hopefully, 6-2, but CSGO obviously trying to get those confidence frags, trying to get those kills a bit too early.
Look at Imi here, actually. He could get right behind Crimj, completely take him down, lose that AWP. The timing is going to be on point. Now he looks for Jack as well, and if he can land that headshot, that'd be beautiful. His cape is up towards highway. Ezio going to take him down, and what is this is perhaps the biggest thing to say is, Snots, we look at a 4v2, Pistols somehow managing to dismantle the CT side of all rounds.
That kill definitely changes things. Does Jack get a second for his name? So be the late rotation to A main from the T player. Jack and Neff now. Kit on Jack. Molotov for quad, so this could actually work in their favour.
Could work in their favour, but Imi, well, he's just going to walk out the site, completely scalpel on towards Jack. He's finding himself with pretty much nothing left, and then, well, why not get a second as well? Another scalping shot for Imi. You see, as a happy man walking away from that one with the triple kill in that round with just a P250.
That is a frustrating round to lose.
It's a frustrating round to lose, but I think it's rather good timing.
What is Tesco doing? It's just, yeah, fair play, mate. You got 3 kills in that eco last time. He wants the kills, he wants the fame. Don't try and impress people, just win the round.
I don't know if I want to say, like, you're on streams, you got to play, like Flary CS or not.
That's what I mean. Like, you just do...
Yeah, that's all that really comes to mind right now. It's a bit always like BM, but it's kind of what is sitting there, and I think I'm just going to be honest and go out and say it, because there are a lot of things in that round that just didn't need to happen. Like, overall, you didn't need them. It's the same thing as the boost, to be honest, right? It's like that exact same kind of comparison. The boost is perhaps a little bit kind of an example that's not kind of the middle end of life, but losing to pistols like that, much more apparent now, because you've just given Endpoint a way back into the game in a much quicker fashion. Like, take a look at their money as well. They've got 5.2k on Ibby post-buy. Like, that's a good amount of economy for Endpoint to sit up on. Yes, the rest of the team may not be at too comfortable a point. You know, Hajji bought up pretty much fully, but between Max and Ibby, even if they end up losing this round and save, they still have enough to continually kind of replenish that amount. So I think it's happy days for Endpoint. They got to take full advantage of RoyalsUK, and now they just have to try and win this round.
Let's see now. Tesco not playing over-aggressive, instead will allow the T players to push onto the site this time. See if that change will make and mark a big difference into this round, and Neff catching that rotation towards mid-main. Maybe the CTs might realise, might over-rotate back towards mid here, allow the T's to get out main, and instead Capers will lock that down. Mighty Max falls. The trade not quite in just yet. Hajji pushing the side, but Jack will save him. Finds one. Spray still coming through, but Capers will chime in for the second. Jack as well gets the deuce. That'll be it.
That was pretty smart from Jack and Capers actually over towards Quad and on site there, because the players were trying to force that trade on towards Capers. They knew full well, you know, Snod's as a player, you can kind of almost talk about it from your perspective in that situation. The minute that Orpa gets that first pick and you start getting those tags, the first thing you want to do is get that trade, right? Yeah, you want to reface, you want to get that trade straight away, but what he ended up actually doing was effectively baiting Endpoint to go further in for that push, where Jack is there ready and waiting, and they can't flick between two people at the same time. That's just not going to happen, which gives Jack the opportunity to just mow them down. So that was pretty well played. And also,
Endpoint chucked two Molotovs, at Quad. They threw one MBK, two Quad. So, slight miscommunication there. Maybe I just saw it wrong. That's very possible. But, Endpoint, they throw their nades A. They have a player rotate towards mid, try and make a distraction, and then go out, right? Without the nades. And use the distraction as their utility instead, as a placeholder. Instead, though, Royals capitalize on that. Do take the 3-round lead now, and they've got some comfortable rounds here. Like, it's not as if it's like miracle rounds where one player's played incredible. Incredible. Nice headshot then, and the follow-up kill as well for Hajji. All down to Jack on the B-bomb site, playing towards headshot, has to divert towards back boxes as his Molotov's out. Let's see, can he hold it down?
Certainly going to be a tough one, and there you have it. Tech9 quick on his heels. Hajji over towards connector to lurk in the backlines. Capers is going to get a quick frag though, which certainly does help him, but I think it depends on your definition of help, really. It's all about him pointing towards a save almost, I think, in a 1v4. There's no chance he's going to make this work. He's just going to sit over towards that A site, park himself in Squeaky or something along those lines, and from there, just kind of try and make sure he can bring that into the next round for Royals. And Endpoint really have been given an opportunity to keep on fighting, keep on swinging away, and I do think we have to give it to Royals. Like, they have been able to kind of deal with these punches in a pretty successive manner. Like, they've been able to really kind of, or just keep on dueling Endpoint in rounds that on paper you would always favor Endpoint in. So I do think you have to kind of give them props for that, but at the same time, mistakes they're showing, and they're giving Endpoint opportunities to still pick up rounds, still grind things out.
Yeah, for sure. Max here falling. The money on Endpoint's side is very, very low, and you can see here, with him dying, the buy-up does come in. That will make quite a large difference, into their economy, as it will need to be dropped. A rifle. So, the buy comes in. SSG and Hajji, that's probably a misbuy. But yeah, you can see 1.5k, 1.4k, 2.9, 15, 200, right? Laz is the only player with, economy to buy a rifle into the next round. If Royals can take this, we could be seeing another low buy onto Endpoint, potentially pistols, and hopefully that is what happens. Royals don't throw away another round they definitely should be taking.
Hajji with the SSG, certainly an interesting choice of weapon. I think we can agree on that point at least, so excited to see what he can deliver. Perhaps a scope will come in useful. Back to the days of Call of Duty we go. The smoke. Well, Crisscross actually going to go out towards mid there, so acting as a bit of a wall to allow Endpoint to decide, okay, do we want to get into vents? Do we want to go for a push through and try and contest white box? As Tesco going to fall in Toxic, giving Ezio the opportunity to begin that push. As Lazar, he's trying to lurk almost with this AWP towards mid, just gain some presence. But I feel like the pick can certainly be aided over towards B, but Max is going to do it nonetheless. Lazar does find one on towards Scrimj. And things have voluntarily fallen into place now for this T side, as Neff and Capers have their work cut out for them if they want to do anything at all in this round. And I think we're already looking at what will be a save again as they withdraw up towards the A site.
Yep, definitely a good call here to save. Been reset in your previous round. Got an M4 and AWP to save. You've also got money as well on Capers, so They definitely can go for a force buy here. They will have 3 rifles and potentially, 2 UMPs. Have the UMPs to play close mid. Maybe push Squeaky. Well, that change up the play if they do opt for the force buy. Obviously, 3 rounds in a row they lost now. 2, they'll have, 1.4, 1.9k. Yeah, this is definitely... actually, what do you reckon? Flakes, here's a question for you.
Okay.
Royals UK, they're going to be put onto 1.9k once this bomb does go off. 1.9k, right? You can either go for the force buy here, TZs, armor, nades, right? Or, we'll save this one, buy into the next one, but only have M4 flash smoke, no Molotovs for boost, no full sets of utility for flashes, counter flashes mid, counter flashes A. Instead, lack utility, have the firepower, or they force bot. There you go, that answers the question.
I think it answers the question, but I kind of want to touch on why I not necessarily agree with the force buy, because I think the force buy is going to be pretty damn tough at times, because of the way these rounds unfolded, right? I think Endpoint are going to be able to take advantage of this.
Yeah. I think it's because they have the AWP, right?
Yeah.
Once they lose, well, I don't want to say once they lose this, but if they did full eco this, and they lost the round, there would be no AWP for their buy round, so it'd be 5 rifles, right? And obviously Capus' AWP towards A has been a big factor, so probably one of the reasons they did opt to buy into this round. Fortunately for Capus, though, well, that's some nice smoke, actually, definitely using that. Fortunately for Capus, though, it's looking like the set B from Endpoint.
Neff is going to find one on towards Imi, so far so good, but is he going to be able to find the second? Of course, they've got Jack in this crossfire angle. This is going to be checked by Ezio, but Jack is able to find one, so the damage and the trade still being done by the CT side are working out for them as Neff going to peek on out, finds himself a double kill from him, and now Lazar left all alone on 1v3. AWP in his back pocket, a Molotov to go down. That should potentially claim the life of Neff, but no, got to fall rather short and allow him to fall over towards headshot. It may well be winnable, but Snarls, you are clutching at straws, my man, as a flash is going to go off. A smoke even at that. Lazar trying to peek into Neff, but isn't going to be able to get away with it. And Neff, all he has to do now is just hold on that crouch. Lazar trying to make the best of this situation, but he is well and truly shoved up against the corner as Lazar is going to find that frag eventually. Tesco, they're just going to be holding with that shotgun. And the minute a sound step is even made, Tesco just has to fire one shot, and one shot pretty much lands on the head and deals with it. As Cape is then going to peek from heaven with the P250 and end his days.
Yeah, so when I said it's winnable, I did anticipate him to land the Molotov and kill Neff, but fortunately for him, doesn't quite land it where he wants to go, and instead, he has to waste 20 seconds trying to kill Neff. Doesn't manage to wallbang him, fair play, nice shot. Problem is that there was only 30 or 25 seconds left on the clock at that point. You've got to make some desperate plays, double flash towards CT. Doesn't quite get the kill, and the player that Mag 7 tags him solo. Well, that's an easy kill there to finish him off. So, 7-5, Royals win this round, and we'll put buy again onto Endpoint. Endpoint, they definitely need to take this round. Otherwise, Royals, they're going to be taking the lead here. And it's, well, they already had the lead, but what I'm saying is run away with it, right? If they win this 8-5, Endpoint are on an eco 8-5. Instantly, then they've won the half.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much looking at 10-5, right?
Maybe, but even then, winning the half alone is more than I anticipated from Royals here. I thought this was going to be a stomp, but compared to what I saw last game.
Pronunciation, man,
Royals,
that's hard work.
mate, I've been awake for a very long time.
I feel you. I feel you on that one. But I think I do agree with what you're saying. I think at the end of the day, especially with like watching that first map,
this is a good showing.
Kind of going through. Yeah, Royals UK, they're pretty much coming to us and going, okay, yeah, we're in the Premiership. You might not have expected us to even be in the Premiership, but we're here to fight, and we're not just going to kind of sleep our way through it and be that back marker finisher. No, they want to be in that kind of top 4 contending spot. They want to get themselves Batland finals, and, well, week 1 performance, a good way to kick off the show. So this is going to be this 4v3. Money Max there to lead the charge out on towards the site. Should have been able to find that one, and he is going to get away with it, but not before Tesco can claim the life of Lazar. So overall, a lot of damage to be inflicted. The bomb is going to go down. That AWP stranded in mid as Auto Director seems to want to show us so dearly.
I know.
I don't know why it was so stuck on that, to be honest, but Max,
no, Nate. Yeah.
Max can pretty much just peek out towards CT wall, and Crimjay's chances are going to be crushed.
No Molotov. No Molotov for quad, no Molotov for forklift. This means that Max and Ezio just have angels. And that's exactly what they want. Neff to secure the kill on Ezio. They know where, and he knows where Mighty Max is. Saying that though, he's not even aiming at him. Anticipated him to be in the cubby. Instead, Max swung far right, caught off guard there, and that will be the pause from Imi. Imagine that's a problem on technical.
Yeah, I don't imagine we're seeing a tactical pause this late into the half. That'd be a bit out there. It's just not. Let's look back right now at this, like all the rounds we witnessed, all 13 of them going into this 14th. Is there anything that really sticks out to you? Are you looking at saying this is one player, perhaps the AWP, Because I think for RoyalsUK, that's one thing that has kind of really been, not necessarily at the top of my list of things that have got them to 7-6, but they have been getting just more frags across the board spread within the team, and a lot of that also is the AWP getting these picks.
Very true. I mean, initially it was Crimj getting those mental rifle rounds, mental rifle 3Ks, right? So, start things off, individual performance, CRMJ definitely did step up to the plate. Later on into the half, when the AWPs came out, you saw Capers have some very strong rounds with the AWP. Crimj as well, very strong rounds with the AWP. And so far, it really has been Capers and they leading the charge. 12 kills on both of them, 12-7 as well. Very important to have a lot of kills. That's great, right? But it's also not dying. That does make a massive difference. Simply staying alive does add a lot of value to your economy.
Well, it's just about impact versus finding, like, you can get a frag, but what's the impact of finding that frag, right? I think that's the way I kind of look at the way you've explained that. It's just all well and good to get yourself a pick, but you want to be looking at making sure you're being the most impactful player you can, while also minimizing the losses for your team.
Efficiency.
Efficiency, yeah.
They say, well, obviously Cold Zero is the best player in the world, but I think Thorin mentioned in a video about him, he said Cold Zero may be the most efficient player of all time. Lots of frags, very, very rarely dies, and that is also, you know, a major factor. I actually probably going a bit out onto a whim here, but I remember who was it? Which IGL was it from America? Played for TSM, begins with an S, I believe. Played for Conquest, TSM, an AWP at IGL. Lifts, what's his name? Come on, help me.
I'm trying to have a think here. Conquest.
No. It was the TSM lineup with Sick and Twist. What's his name?
Stanislaw?
No.
Is that the one you're thinking of? Shazam?
Someone's gonna write it in the chat.
You thinking of Shazam? Maybe?
Sure. No, not Stanislaw. Oh my god, played on Cloud9 with Hiko.
I'm trying to think of players that begin with S at this point. I'm scrapping the whole All-Pro and IGL thing and just thinking North American players. That's the one you're thinking of.
Stemphis was talking about TSM, right? And he was talking about why did he pick up Sick? And obviously Sick, when they went to ECS finals, they came top 4, they beat Fnatic. When that happened, right? And everyone's going, oh, where did you find Sick? This, you know, underlining talent. He said simply, he gets kills, but most importantly, he knows when to not die. And he said it as in so many players, especially from America, and I guess you can draw some comparisons between America and the UK scene, right? He said so many players, they get kills, but they die so often. And he said Sick was one of the only players he saw as like a young rising talent that was very efficient, right? Got a lot of kills, stayed alive, and he said that's really what done from him. That's why I picked him up. Someone in the chat put Smooth.
Yeah, I was honestly expecting to see Smooth in there at some point. I think Sean Garris, I assumed it wasn't Sean Garris because it's not really kind of the AWP you're searching for.
Yeah, that's too soon. That's too soon.
Yeah. I thought you were like hinting towards a Sham or something. That would have been interesting.
That's an IGL, mate.
Yeah, true. Either way, interesting story coming in from you. Always love that little bit of cheeky insight that you bring to the table with those points.
Obviously, I could word it a lot better for the real broadcasts.
But yeah, but I think it's like the whole point of this, right, is like it might not necessarily be like a uptight 24/7 like pro broadcast or whatever. It's just us like talking about what we think, right, and giving out like uncut thoughts.
Relaxed.
Yeah, let's just relax a little bit. I just wanted to like talk about Counter-Strike now and have a laugh. That's what I want to do.
Do you like to play here? I do actually like to play here for Royals. A lot of the times when you're on your ECOs, you just go to the same defaults. You play your normal 2-1-2, and you just get completely mauled. Instead, Royals, bit of initiative there. That's a nice shot there from Jack, actually taking out Imi. 4 USPs though. So 0 chance of them winning this round. But then again, economical damage and kills. But definitely something you can't complain about.
I think the biggest thing I'm looking at right now is that Endpoint pretty much going to take this round. I think that's a given. It comes down to who's going to win the half, right? And what value that has. I think for a CT side in the 7 rounds already, you've done pretty damn well on cash. Getting to 8 is pretty much beautiful, but I don't think that getting to the 8th over having 7 is necessarily like game breaking. I don't think it's going to impact them too hard. Right?
I mean, for your CT side, they've already done more than I was expecting.
Exactly. So I think like the difference between having 7 rounds on your CT side and 8 rounds on your CT side, I think like there's not necessarily too much in it. So I think the biggest point is kind of almost stressing towards the Endpoint side and saying, okay, you really need this 8th from your perspective to kind of almost replenish the mistakes.
Yeah. And what's really interesting as well is it's not like, oh, it's 8-7, Endpoint win the half, Endpoint are playing sick, right? Royals have had some miracle rounds. Instead, it's actually, I mean, this could be 9-6. This could be 10-5. Throwing away that eco round, which they lost, remember? Let's go, and another player just pushing and dying meaninglessly.
Okay. Just lots of things.
Well.
That's got a sting.
That must suck. Yeah, that really... That's unfortunate. Lazar was trying to go for the place TV there. Capis does find the club to Lazar. Doesn't quite equalize the numbers, but instead he makes it feasible, saying that though Jack does fall towards Toxic, he pushed with the information. I like the play. 2 players die mid. He needs to take control of something. Made the right play. Unfortunately for him, he did lose that duel to Ezio. Bomb as well, B connector. Endpoint again, opting to play the slow and steady style of CS. Want to play it very, very safe. They don't want Neff or Capis to have a miracle round here and somehow land on 8 rounds. And instead with CGS again. Who cast the CGS? Do you remember who were the casters back in the old days?
That's a long time ago, man.
Oh, that's the guy's like, sensational! What was his name? You know what I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about. I don't know the name though. I never actually found out that.
Sensational! What was his name? What was his name? There's Warclown.
You've got to work that in at some point now, though. I wanna hear.
What was his name? Oh no! What was his name?
Someone in the chat, help us out. Who are the CGS casters?
Sensational! It was like he always used to say that. What was his name? I remember. Damn. Red Eye, obviously. Max now peeking out, sprays down, but doesn't quite get it. Max does fall. Hudge G finds the counter Neff. Capers down the 1 versus 2 with the AWP. Imi peeking out, sprays. And down he goes. Sensational round there for Hudge G as he finds the second. And that'll be my CGS.
Is that your CGS show? Is that how you get your?
What was his name? Oh my goodness, what was his name? Oh my goodness.
I'm hearing a lot of Tosspot in chat. Is it Tosspot?
That was it. I knew it was a T. I knew it was a T. I knew it was a T.
I think I'm too young to know a lot of the CGS stuff, man. It sucks. When was CGS on? Right, it was like what?
2000, God, 7, if that.
Yeah, like 2007, 2006.
I don't know. I didn't play it. I didn't even know what Counter-Strike was.
Yeah, no, because the first season, right, was 2007, and then there was like the pro-am before that.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, that was like it was weird. It was very weird. Hear about oh no, I can't really say that on stream. Something that happened at CGS that caused someone to lose a lot of money.
I don't know much of the CGS stuff, man. I was like probably like 8 or 9 or something when CGS was going on.
That's the thing. Like if you pog with a lot of the old school players, like you just hear the weirdest stories. But I'll let you know afterwards. So
yeah, I'm intrigued now. You have to.
Few players dropping out of the server. Actually, it wasn't even that bad. I thought it was something else, but a player, I'm not going to say his name, a player slapped another player, right?
Okay.
He slapped a player on Henry G's team.
Okay.
And because of that, he was kicked out of CGS, where his team was going to make $100,000.
It's a bit of a feels bad man, really, isn't it?
And Richard Lewis posted an article saying, and he got an award for it as well, saying the $100,000 slap. Yeah, imagine that.
That's an expensive slap, gotta be said. I mean, I'm just looking at the chat right now. Have you seen the comment that Did Mad Man has made? That's a pretty interesting response to how this match is going to go.
Denny is going to have all of that in his tea. Who's Denny?
I don't know anymore.
Who's Denny?
I read that in chat. I was like, that stuck out to me. So I was like, what? Did man, you're gonna have to let us know what you're, who you're getting at with that. That's different, I think. I think it's the easiest way I'm going to describe that one. Either way, Snoz, let's bring it back to the action. Bring it back to the Counter-Strike. 7-8 is the score, and of course we know Endpoint managed to sneak it in with the end of the half. We talked about them kind of needing to get to 8 to almost replenish the mistakes they made. And I'm kind of looking at how these rounds swung. Seeing that nice little 4-round string as well. It really hasn't been too shabby for the side of Royals, has it?
No. No, I mean, many rounds that Royals have lost have been massive mistakes, right? Endpoint really haven't been playing as well as I anticipated them to play. I mean, I only caught, slight moments of the previous game when they won 16-8, right? But I saw a very bad play from Royals. And what I've seen here is definitely a stark contrast to what I saw on the previous map. And overall, it's Endpoint. You know, Endpoint will always play solid. Yeah, that's one thing. They'll always play solid. They'll always grind out rounds. But it feels like it's Royals throwing away rounds they should be winning. This should be 8-7. This should be 9-6 in their favor.
Would you say that Endpoint are a consistent team then?
Very consistent. It's all believe trust in the system. You know, they all trust in Imi.
I do kind of think to them with kind of that. It's the same sort of style that SK play, right? Like a lot of people seem to view SK as this team who are just a bunch of really talented players. They have a very set system.
I wouldn't compare Imi and why is my tab button broken? I wouldn't. Enough of that. Anyway, Doorburst comes in. Capers a nice headshot down to Ezio. They spring onto the site, find 3 entries there. And that should definitely lock up the second pistol for the T-side Royals. Definitely. I mean, if they throw this, they might as well throw the game out of the board, out of the park. Sorry. Right. This should be 9-6, pistol 1, 12-6. Endpoint have to make their comeback. Instead, it must be a lack of inexperience. It has to be a lack of inexperience. Players trying to be heroes. Players trying to make the play, impress people on stream, trying to be famous, trying to get 30 kills, pushing on ecos, throwing rounds, and now look what they're left up in, right? They're equal. They win the second pistol and they're equal. They should be far, far ahead.
I think that I can definitely I can feel the frustration in your voice. I think
you just root for the underdog, don't you?
Yeah, it's kind of just like you're. I don't know though, because you want to root for the underdog. You always want to rally behind that kind of the lesser team. But
imagine the drama if they lost this.
There's probably going to be drama anyway, though. To be realistic on that front. But I'm just thinking. I'm thinking if it goes 1-1, it just really shows that RoyalsUK are going to fight. But the big thing for me is, we talked about consistency. It seems to be a bit of a buzzword that we've kind of touched on a fair few times now. For Royals, I want to know how they're going to perform kind of in the next following weeks then. Because if they go 1-1 in that first week to a team like Endpoint, I expect quite a lot from them going up against teams that I would argue are not as strong as Endpoint. There are a lot of teams in the Premiership now who are very much varying in skill.
Oh my god.
Lazar, drive-bys in towards A main. Crimj is going to respond with one from Highway. As Hudgy taps on down, he's going to find himself completely sandwiched though. And not really sure what we're watching at this point. Is Neff going to go aggressive out on towards A with this UMP? Finds one back again on towards Lazar. It seems to be a bit of a back and forth fray as Cape is just 2 HP. That's such a small amount. One that can easily be ended.
How is he still alive? Okay, good. Hudgy falls. Okay. It's almost as if Royals want to lose.
Something tells me that's not quite the case, but I get your point.
No, but
I get what you're trying to. I get what you're getting at, but yeah. Ezio, 86 HP, shouldn't be able to accomplish anything at all in this scenario. He should just be mowed down by a UMP or something along those lines. But hey ho, he's doing damage. Finds one. Neff is finally going to find that frag though, and RoyalsUK will edge it out 9-8. You're right, Snods.
Hopefully.
Do you need to breathe a second?
No, I'm reading chat, mate. I'm reading chat. Hopefully seeing 10-8. The problem is, though, I mentioned your CT side, okay? I mentioned if you on your CT side, if you lack skill, that can be a major, major problem. The problem is, Royals right now, we do have Crimj on the lurk. The lurk just a push towards Highway. Again, he's alone. And again, he gets shot in the back. So, I guess he didn't learn from his last lesson. Jack catching up the rotation of Imi. Ezio's
this
well
could be so dangerous. Ezio has
Wait.
got an opportunity to get a double kill. Now looking for the triple on towards Neff. Claims that one in full force. Jack now the last man remaining. Good night, sweet dreams, RoyalsUK. You have made a mess out of this one. This is how you screw up, and this is how you get yourself in a pretty deep dark hole. One that it's all on Jack to dig his way out of now, as he's going to walk right into the crosshair of Max and Endpoint. They equalise it back 9-9, and what was that overall? Look at the economy of RoyalsUK now. They have to make a pretty tough decision. They've got kind of a bit of a shaky economy around 3.3, 3.4k. You've got Neff and Jack and Crimj who can pretty much afford to buy. But aside from that, it's going to be shaky no matter what. And that's a huge mistake from them, because they could have been going into this with a pitch-perfect buy. Instead, well, we're looking at 3 smokes and 2 flashes, and that's it.
Do they want to lose? I said we should be seeing 10-8 unless something crazy happens.
You're crazy.
No flashbang. Just, you know what, I'm just going to face some site with P2000s, kill 3 people. Oh, my name's Ezio, whatever. How can you still have life on Royals right now? That must be so gutting to lose 2 full ecos in such stupid ways.
It must be an experience, surely.
Has to be experience. Has to be.
Like, there's nothing else that I can lean towards. Like, unless they're just getting... Someone's making really bad calls. I don't know.
It's like the calls aren't bad. It's just...
Well, because that's what it feels like. It feels like the footwork is there, but then they just make these small micro peaks that are just, like, so unneeded. And then once you make that small peak, that then is a slippery slope that leads to what we've witnessed. Ezio drops the bomb. Neff now has to go back for it. He's more than likely to get a fall here as well. Does get the tag on towards Ezio in return. A flash to go off, and Neff's still there to hold the angle, but it's 2v5. Jack trying to contend over towards the B side, praying that he can find something on towards Imi, but just more damage to be inflicted. Ezio was unable to find that second pick, but he didn't need to. He's understood the value in not dying in that scenario. He's just going to sit there with 21 HP and vent. Play for the sound at this point. Play for the information. The minute he gets an opportunity, he's going to drop on down. Jack is going to claim his life, but now they know there are 2 players over towards B. Imi can get 1, and potentially even line up for the second out, which he is going to get away with. There you have it. Scripted round, pretty much.
Yeah, and that might just script the end here for Royals. I mean... What can they show on their T side, okay? They'll not fully eco now. You will buy smokes and flashes, so... Be seeing a set play towards A, smoke highway, flash out, typical play. Maybe even smoke quad as well, and try and flash through the smoke. That works as well. But good flashbang here. Gonna be the door burst. I like this. I do like this. So smoke towards highway, flash out, door burst. The thing is though, Endpoint they're deciding to opt for that A retake and actually just play here towards Forklift. Doesn't quite get much of his time, and instead will fall. Max for the second kill there. Tesco does find the frag onto the site. Will allow the bomb to go down.
Interesting to see how this retake is going to go, just how clean it's going to be, as Neff deciding, you know what, today's the day I burn in the flames, become one with the fire. Was that retake that could have been difficult was actually made rather easy. The defuse is going to come on in, and Endpoint, they're going to get their 11th on the board. Take a glance at Rules UK, and it's getting to be a bit more of a bleaker picture as time goes by. Are we going to see any stint of life, or is it, as you said, not necessarily the beginning as the end, because it certainly feels like we're getting to that point already, but is this Royals UK finally kind of meeting their comeuppance?
Let's take a look at the spot. So, 5.4 count Neff, they can buy the AWP. Let's see, do they go for it? Do they go for the AWP? If they don't, oh no, they don't buy the AWP. So this could be a telegraphed B contact. Not B contact, but they're playing a default. They're playing a default without AWP. This could end very, very badly. Because you play slow, and you get AWP'd. Well, I guess if the shot whiffs, then yeah. If the shot
Crimjay walking out onto Boosk, wide open, gives himself up to Hudshi. Neff gonna get tagged down by Imi and gives him an opportunity to repeak after repeak, and well, you give a man 3 times. Eventually, I'll take those 1 in 3 odds any day with a man like Imi, as he is gonna land it. Royals UK dismantled in this round yet again, left in a 3 versus 5, and the clock has fairly even began to count down, let alone get into this round. Get down to the nitty-gritty of things. Jack, KPS, and Tesco, they have their work well and truly cut out for him, and I think the most worrying point for me here, Snots, is that we're not looking at a 3v5 where Royals UK are on a site, or they're close to getting on a site. They have gained literally 0 ground. They have to play an entire round pretty much from the start, from the fresh point, with just 3 players.
I mean, you got 5 rifles, okay? That's fine. You can play 5 rifles cash T-side very, very well. It's a very strong setup, okay? You can also play a tactical default without the AWP. The problem is the lack of utility. They don't flashbang. Yes, Imi whiffs the AWP shot so the player stays alive. The thinking wasn't there. They'd still just dry peeked into an AWP, and to think about dry peeking, KPS just crash peeks into Ezio and takes him down. All 3 of the remaining Royals players on their T side will slowly drift from vent towards the B bomb side. There's 1 player here from the Endpoint side. Can he hold it?
Certainly going to be a tough task, but it really comes down to the setup from the CT side. Molotovs are plenty. Really just trying to hold down this pathway. As Tesco going to find 1 through the smoke. Imi is going to find the tag though. Eventually going to get traded out by Tesco, and nades are going towards the site, coming down to 8 seconds now. They have to get this plant. Loz are going to walk directly into Tesco, and Endpoint. What felt like a round they almost certainly should have won. Now comes down to just 1 man. Hudshi bringing it back for the side of the almost recent addition.
Winnable.
1v2. It is winnable, as you say. A flash to go off as well. He's looking for the singular jewels if he can get away with it. Needs to ideally take down Tesco with this. Peeks into him, gets away with it, looks for the second owl, gets a spray. Knocking Jack down to his 40 HP. A flash is going to go off, but Jack thinks it's flashed him, but it actually hasn't. Soji now looking towards headshot, getting caught out by Jack.
4x3. That's 4x3 for you. They're literally looking at each other, both of them in their view, and unfortunately, Hudgy doesn't see him in his peripheral vision. He should have really sealed the deal when he sprayed him. Unfortunately, him didn't quite connect that last bullet, and that will make it to both teams now double digits. 10-11, Endpoint, they're 1 round in the lead, and if they do take this one, they will put Royals onto that eco, and they will then get ever so close to that 16th round. And again, though, if Royals win this, the money on Endpoint side isn't too strong either.
Yeah, it's not too pretty amount at all. It's going to be early damage. Jack, don't kill your teammate. Please don't. That was too close for comfort. As Ezio in towards Vent now. He's going to take advantage of that as he punishes Capers. Well, a good start for Endpoint at least, but we have seen things go a bit more awry, and this B site certainly going to be made to be contended. Zimmy has his work cut out for him as Crimj, Jack, and Tesco get themselves clustered up, and I'm going to be curious to see if Hudgy decides to just sit here and lurk for Vent push again, or if he decides to go for this push and wrap him from B main. Ezio nearly getting caught with his pants down, tries to throw down a Molotov, a flash gun as well, but isn't going to be able to get too much done. Eventually gets that late pick, burns Jack away through the fire and the flames, gets a triple kill in the end, on towards Nefas now, and whips out that pistol. That's just cheeky.
50,000 is his old faithful. 12-10, Royals now, the money is dire. They have to force this one. Try and hope for a miracle. I did like the previous round when they did the door burst. They just obviously lost in the retake. They are getting Checkers control, so they can maybe get into Checkers, flash over, Molotov headshot, or Imi's been playing back boxes a lot, molly back boxes and do an execute that way. Dead though. They're going to quasi-buy. Maybe they want the utility and the AWP on the actual buy round. Instead of just, you know, trying to hope and pray they get a win on a quasi-buy.
I mean, Lazar doesn't miss. I don't understand a triple boost strategy without a smoke or something in towards window, and then eventually one is going to go out. But Lazar's just going to push this. He's feeling so confident. There's even a gap in it as well. Crimj is going to be able to take advantage of the Tech 9, but really risking that one now. Interesting decisions. It may just well be an eco, but Snods, help me out here. I don't know if you agree with it. Even if you're on an eco, even if you're on just these pistols with these Tech 9s, you still want to go and throw around with the maximum chance to win. Which means that you don't want to play directly into something your opposition you know are going to be able to get 3 or 2 picks out of.
If you're boosting mid, and you don't have an AWP yourself to hold the angle, and you have a smoke, and instead you opt to smoke off connector once 2 of your teammates are already dead.
Well, that's what kind of irks me in that situation, right? Is that they're on an eco if they have a smoke. Just throw the smoke from boost.
Fortunately for them, does mean they did kill Lazar there, so to get a little bit too aggressive. Imi has shown his hand at B that he is AWPing still. Definitely abusable. Smoke off B main, flash yourself into Checkers, get Checkers control, execute onto B, done, dusted, B site's yours. But instead Royals, they want to go for a default again.
Very much towards mid as well.
Who needs, I mean, yeah, Deagle's what? 700? You could just buy P250 and buy 2 flashbangs, or a smoke, or a Molotov.
Hudgy actually losing the duel, but Ezio then and mop up the mess that he has created as he finds himself a sweet, sweet double kill. For Royals now, they have a choice to make. Where do they want to head towards? Is it going to be the A site? Seems so, as that Bomber's already got itself warmed well and surely into Squad's squeaky calls. Nef and Co going to be there to peek at our A main, and that's going to be a bit of a difficult task, especially up against the likes of Mighty Max. The shoulder peek is going to come off. Crimj there to bait it. The bomb is now well and truly down, and Lazar is hitting the shots with these pistols as he finds off the headshot on towards Nef, leaving just Capers to lick his wounds and do anything he can to stop Endpoint from getting too much value out of this round.
$14-10. This is definitely looking like your Endpoint's way. Obviously, far more competitive than the previous map, even though I didn't watch all of it. Royals this time, it feels like they've lost themselves, right? You're playing versus Endpoint. It's a good team to get experience versus because they're not going to out-aim you ridiculously. Like, if you play versus Heinz, you're going to get headshot by Hetchenko. You're going to get completely owned by Jesp. You're not going to learn much because they're not going to play structured CS. They're just going to play very, very balls deep, play aggressive, and play for the headshots, right? When you play versus Endpoint, you play structured CS. You can gain a lot of experience that way. Talk about experience. One of the most experienced people in the scene does full. Hudgy dies in mid. A second entry there, maybe a third. As Imi loves the pistol, but not quite the AWP. Dies. That means we could be seeing 11-4 unless something crazy happens, and this could be the start. Nope. Unless I wasn't holding CT, I thought he was. Instead, he will fall 11-14.
11-14. Something that I think, you know, arguably in a standard match of Counter-Strike is a workable point for Royals in terms of making this comeback happen, and at least, you know, beginning to pave down the road to that point. But again, it comes back to context, right? And it comes back to looking at these two teams, and yeah, it certainly feels like my belief in Royals has been, you know, always drip by drip, kind of almost fallen away, should I say. Slazza kind of almost proving that point as he finds himself that first shot. Looking for a second. Jack will try and disrupt it, and if anything, actually catch without Imi on that crossfire, but Lazar is still standing. A flash is going to go out, and he is fully aware of that one, but there's a shot nonetheless now looking for a second. Crimj is going to punish him, but Ezio up towards Vents to be the man to trade. Cape is getting a little stuck over towards mid, and off the back of that is going to have to let Hudshi walk away with his life. And Max now to reposition over towards Car.
2 versus 3, such low HP there on Capers. And both these players are stacked up, so they won't have very good afterplants. Or afterplants at all. As the bomb does not fall. Instead, we are at 15-11 match point for Endpoint. And people in the chat asking for the scoreboard. Have you got it up?
Yeah, we can bring up the scoreboard there.
You know what's funny? You had 100 viewers, right?
Yeah.
And then as soon as Endpoint hit that 14th round very convincingly, everyone just left. You lost 30 viewers like that. And now obviously got some viewers back, but...
Yeah, I mean...
Obviously, people agreeing with us that is, at that point, it was pretty much done and dusted.
Yeah, I think it's kind of...
Yeah,
it's not textbook, but it's a good run for RoyalsUK. Them even getting 11 rounds, right, is good. But I think, you know, this should have been that 2-0 for Endpoint. It's just the difficult factor of just how, not necessarily difficult it has been, because it hasn't been, you know, click up on them by, like, at all. And much more about how they've got there. Either way, at least in this round, maybe it's not quite over yet, Snots, because they are keeping it contested, but then Ezio finding that frag on towards Crimj, I think is going to close down those dreams, as now the bomb is open on B site. At Endpoint have pretty much rotated in, and well, we can sit here looping over our words, or we can just kind of watch it take place as Capers and Tesco trying to creep in towards Ezio. Being ever so precarious about Vent as Hudshi going to be there to close that one down, but Ezio is going to win the battle. Tesco still trying to look to trade it back. Gets the headshot on towards Lazar, but Hudshi is going to find the pick. 16-11 is going to be the scoreline. Endpoint